Hey guys, let's do another book haul. Normally my book hauls get like no views, but that's fine because I like making them, so too bad. And I've covered this before, but I feel like I need to cover it again. I enjoy reading books and I enjoy collecting. So whenever somebody asks me, do you actually read all of those or do you just collect them? The answer is always yes. I read and I collect. Mind your business. Anyway, let's continue. So a while back, Barnes & Noble had this sale going on where it was 50% off select hardbacks. Now by select, I mean that it was truly selective. There were only a handful of titles. However, when I checked these titles out online, it turns out there were a number of them that I was interested in. So I was like, yep, I want to go to Barnes & Noble and I'm gonna see what's there. Because whenever Barnes & Noble does sales like that though, I don't really order them online. I go to the store and what they have in the store is what I get. It does help me in terms of not getting too much because some stuff the physical store will be sold out of, which then prevents me from buying it because I'm not gonna order it. So it helps, okay? There is a method to my madness. But anyway, let's go through those 50% off hardcovers. Number one, we have Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent, and it is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Now I have a bunch of other Carissa books, but I didn't have this one. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. I really didn't need another reason not to get it. It wasn't like it doesn't have sprayed edges or anything like that, but I want all of her work. And now I am one step closer. Another one that is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. We have The Shadow Bride by Shelby. I am so sorry, I'm going to pronounce this last name incorrectly. Mahurin? I'm sorry. It's a thicker book, but what got me is this top part. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but at the top it says, "Death isn't the end, love reigns eternal." And that gave me almost like Death God love interest vibes and that intrigued me. Now, let me preface this by saying I have not read this book, so I don't know if that's true, but I hope it is, and that sounds very intriguing. So here I am, because you know what? I do judge a book by its cover. What can I say? I know, I'm sorry, but it's true. And speaking of beautiful covers that really do entice me, Firebird by Juliet Cross. Love this art, love it. This character design looks really cool. And then look at the spine. And there's a little dragon there. Look at that, dragons, I'm in. You don't need to say anything else. I'm in. And look at the map on the inside. This one just had me sold. Now one that I truly had to search throughout the store was this. The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Now I own this book, but not this special edition. I've seen it for a while, I've just never gotten around to buying it, but I really like the look of it, and I saw that this one was going to be half price, so this was like my main goal of if I get nothing else from this Barnes & Noble sale, I hope I get this one, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I happened to find one last copy, but it was hidden on some very like off shelf that was built into the help desk that's in like the middle of a Barnes & Noble. It was in there, and I happened to see it. I'm pretty positive this was the last one that they had because I scoured that store multiple times to try to find it and I just couldn't. But then I did. The dopamine rush that filled my head when I happened to find it, the hunt was worth it. You got these sprayed edges, you got this beautiful, just, beautiful. And I like how this shimmers against the light. It's just a very beautifully designed book. What can I say? Another one I was interested in getting was this, which is A Curse Carved in Bone. Now I wanted this because I do have the first book. I've had it for a while, and when I saw that the second one had come out, it was one of those things where like, yep, I knew I wanted to get it, but I just hadn't gotten around to it, and then boom, Barnes & Noble 50% off? Yeah, I'm gonna get it. And we have these sprayed edges, which is just like a shiny metallic red, and I like it. Now I do agree that sprayed edges are becoming like too common because they're not special anymore. However, I could still appreciate when there's a good sprayed edge and a nice solid metallic red. Is it anything amazing? No, but I do still like it. However, walking into a Barnes & Noble and seeing how many books do have this special sprayed edge is not as fun anymore because there is in fact too many of them. We need to chill out on the special editions. They aren't feeling very special anymore. But whatever. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. The next book I wanted to get was this, which is What Sleeps Within the Cove, which this is book 4 of the Of Flesh and Bone series, and I have the first 3 books. I just didn't have this one. So again, I saw that this was on sale and I'm like, hello, this is perfect for me because I have the first 3, so why would I not get this one? And again, this also has a sprayed edge and it's this solid green. However, I'll give this one a pass about like the whole sprayed edges rant I just went on because the first 3 books all have different colors sprayed edges. You got like the red, the purple, and and like the blue, green in this. So yes, this was a way to complete series, which was pretty nice. Fill out my collection a bit more. Another one I got was this, which is just a different version of Frankenstein, because if you don't know about me, basically Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, those are the three like classics that I like having in a bunch of different covers, different versions, different books. Like, yes, I want a collection of like one of each of the classics, but those three books in particular are like almost their own collections of having different versions of those books. So this just adds to that collection because it was also half off, and it has these sprayed edges. Now, is this my favorite like Frankenstein book I have? No, but like I said, it is a collection and I like it, so it was worth it. And Half Price made this only like $7.50 because this was one of their like bargain deal books to begin with, so I thought that was a good price. But those were all that I got from Barnes & Noble specifically. Now this book haul isn't over. That was just what I got from Barnes & Noble, okay? We're still going. We're still going. So next up is Half Price Books. I'm always frequenting Half Price Books. It's probably my favorite bookstore. I love that I have one near me. I go too much. So let me show you what I got. First of all, I happen to find this notebook on clearance. Look at it. It's like the little one. It has the magnetic. It's lined. And I got the matching like bookmark to go with it because duh, but it was only $3. I've never really seen their notebooks like this go in the clearance section before. Now I don't know if I've just been unlucky and I've missed it, or if it was just a fluke that they were there. I don't know. I usually just don't see them there. So the fact that I saw it, I was like, yeah, I want this. And I got it. Another one is this Vampires, the Occult Truth book. Now another thing kind of similar to my Dracula Frankenstein collection, I also have a collection of books that involve mythology, fairy tales, folklore, and supernatural. And this falls under that supernatural collection, and this goes with that because I just love the concept of all of those. I don't know if you could like put all of those in one genre, what that would be called. They all kind of have similar vibes, if you know what I'm saying. That has always been a special interest of me, probably mythology being the most special of these special interests, but supernatural is still a special interest, and this falls into that category, and it's just a wonderful addition. Next we have Crooked Kingdom, and this has the red sprayed edges. Now this I did own in paperback, but I personally prefer hardbacks. I know some people really like the paperbacks and they prefer those, but I prefer the hardbacks, and I had this in paperback but got rid of it because again, the paperback, I wanted to get the hardback, and I happened to find the hardback, and so there we go, I found the replacement. Now these next two, we have the Atlas Paradox and the Atlas Complex. And this one happens to be the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, even though I bought it at Half Price Books, but you get what I'm saying. Now the first book in this series is called the Atlas 6, and it is a trilogy, and these are the other two books. And I happen to find them both in hardcover to go with my Atlas 6 book, so I saw it as a sign to complete the series. So that was my most recent trip to Half Price Books, but I do still have a couple left. Don't leave me yet, please. Okay? So this was just released, which is Scarred by Emily McIntyre. It has this beautiful, beautiful color. Again, it like shimmers in the light. We have this sprayed edge and we have this nice back. This came out recently and I happened to be at Walmart shopping for other things. Wasn't even really like going there for books. I just happened to walk past the book section and I saw this on the shelves and I didn't know that they were making it. I honestly had no idea, and I happened to see it, and I have the special edition of the first book, Hooked, so I was like, I have to get this one to continue. Hello. So I'm very glad I did. But this was just a random Walmart find. And last but not least is this book, which is The Only Purple House in Town by Anne Aguirre. Now I am in a book club, and this book was a recent read of ours, and I kind of decided in book club that as long as I liked the book, after I read the book and had the book club meeting, I would reward myself by getting the book itself to then put on my shelf, because I'd like a whole shelf dedicated to book club books. I think that'd be very fun and rewarding and nice to see them all there of all the books that we've covered throughout book club. And so this was one of them. I read it, I enjoyed it. It's very Hallmarky, but like in that cute good way that Hallmark movies are, you know? It's like a very sweet found family, a little bit of romance type of thing. But it was good, and so after I finished the book, I rewarded myself by ordering it, and this is what came in. So this will go on my book club bookshelf as like a little reward to myself. I think I'm planning to make a video on its own covering this book and going through probably doing the whole books and makeup series that I've been doing on my channel, which if you haven't seen it, please check it out, support it, I would love that. But I think I'm gonna do that for this book since it's still fresh in my mind. But stay tuned for that, because I'm kind of slow about doing things sometimes. Oh my god, I completely forgot about one thing to add to this book haul. So I am signed up for the LitJoy quarterly book subscription, and my subscription box came in. Does that not go perfectly with the haul? What am I doing? Oh my god, let's go over that. So one of these secret items was this book hair clip. Can you see the books that are on it? Yeah, it's a cute little hair clip. So that was like the secret thing number one. The other secret item, and by secret I mean, let me explain if you don't know about like LitJoy's subscription box. So with the standard box, there's like 2 books and you can choose which of the 2 that you want, and then they have like 3 or 4 different like trinket options, and then you choose which trinket you want more. And then there's a couple secret items where you don't get the choice, they just throw it in your box. So that was one of the secret items, and this is one of the other ones, which is this like Nevermore Ravens socks. So that's cute. Now what did I choose? So I did choose this cute little Beauty and the Beast keychain, and when you open it up, it actually is printed. There's illustrations, there's the words, you can see them all, and it's a cute little keychain. I thought that was so fun. I also got this sick Dragon Eye notebook. Look at that. Look at that. And it's on the back as well, of course. And even like in the end pages, there's this like flame kind of design, and it's lined and comes with this like ribbon bookmark. But yeah, so that's the notebook. And then I got this key to the night court, which look how intricate this is. And honestly, for like how small it is, it's got some weight to it, but it's so decorative and so fun and sparkly and cool. I love it. I love it. This would look so nice on a shelf. It also came in like this like bag to store it in as well. And then the book itself, so I chose the Sea Witch, which this is the dust cover or dust jacket that it comes with. But even if you take it off, the front is very, very pretty. And then there's this end paper art, beautiful in the front, but not just the front, also the back. Look at that art, gotta love it. And not just that, there's also sprayed edges, of course, to kind of match the vibe of the dust jacket. It's signed by the author, you can see it right there. And there is also this like exclusive letter that's included in the print as well that she wrote out. And then as like the last final thing is that there's like the bookmark ribbon as well. But yeah, that is what I got in my LitJoy subscription box, and this was my first one that I received from them because I haven't been signed up all that long, but I'm really excited about it. And I love the fact that it's quarterly, because like book subscription boxes are more expensive than your average subscription box, so doing it monthly is just too much, too expensive, too often. I didn't want that. So when I found out there was a quarterly option, I was like, oh yeah, yep, that's what I want, sign me up. And here we are. So now I can't wait to see whatever comes next time.